This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on your Saturday. I'm China Green. This morning on Sunrise, it is the annular solar eclipse. In just a few hours, the moon will cover most of the sun, and we can see it right here in Oregon. Maybe. And people are rallying in Portland in support of the people in Gaza, now being targeted by the Israeli military, just over a week after Israel was attacked by the terror group Hamas. But before we get to all that, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a first look at the Saturday forecast.
Hey, China, thank you so much. If we can maybe take our satellite and radar full, to kind of show you guys what Mother Nature is kind of bringing into our.
It looks like we're having some technical difficulties right now. We're going to bring in Daisy in just a little bit, but we're getting closer and closer to the solar eclipse. It will be visible on the Oregon coast first and then move its way southeast into the Willamette Valley and beyond. Let's bring in Alma McCarty, who is hoping to catch a glimpse in Eugene if, and it's a big if, the cloud cover lets up. Alma, ready to go?
Yeah, good morning, China. I've got my solar eclipse glasses here. They are still in the envelope because I am not trying to smudge them before we get that chance to see the eclipse this morning. I did pick them up here at the Eugene Science Center, where they're going to be having a watch party later today. And despite all of the clouds and some of the rain that we saw yesterday afternoon, we are remaining optimistic here. Looking up at the sky, seeing a lot of blue. There are some clouds closer to the horizon, but I'm hoping that is not going to ruin the show, because people have been telling me for a while now how great the 2017 total solar eclipse was. This one, obviously a little bit different. It's an annular solar eclipse, but it's still expected to be very, very cool. Now, this is also known as a ring of fire eclipse. Not only are you going to need the eclipse glasses, you are not going to be able to take them off at any point during the event. Eye doctors are really stressing that because you can cause some irreversible damage to your eyes if you don't use this protection. We are planning to set up here, of course, outside of the Eugene Science Center. Again, they're holding a special watch party, a celebration here. They're expecting potentially a couple of hundred people to view it here should the weather cooperate. Now, earlier this week, I spoke with Dr. Todd Duncan, who is a physics professor over at Pacific University in Forest Grove.
I think what's exciting about it for me is it's kind of one of those times when everyone gets to remember that we're connected to the bigger picture. Those of us up here in Forest Grove or in Portland, we'll see a partial annular, so it'll be not directly centered, so it'll be something more like this, right, where it's kind of a glancing blow.
Now down here in that path of annularity, so in Eugene, we are hoping to see that ring of fire. The eclipse will begin around 8 a.m., so in about an hour, and we'll reach annularity, we're expecting, around 9:10, 9:15, and we'll keep you updated with all things eclipse throughout the morning here on KGW News. Back to you, China.
Well, I'm so excited that you get to see your first eclipse.
Dude, if I don't get to see it, I am going to be a little bit upset. I'm not going to lie to you. And we are staying hopeful this morning. That is really the word of the day.
Yeah, I know Daisy and I are going to go on to the roof after the newscast, and hopefully we can see it here. But best of luck to you, man. Alma, thank you. And if you can't be in a spot to see the full eclipse, you can watch it live on KGW.com, or KGW Plus app will have a live stream of the eclipse starting just before 9 o'clock. But I think the question is, will we be able to see it? Will we be able to see it in Portland?
Yeah, China, I think that is really the
biggest question for us this morning, other than the fact of when is the rain coming and when is the sun going to be shining a little bit more here in our area. But again, this is the reason as to why we are staying optimistic for us to see that eclipse here. Looks like our cloud coverage is going to be a little bit heavier along around the Portland metro area. But things are looking a little bit better as we're looking down into the Eugene, south of Corvallis. One of our viewers actually sent me a really quick picture within the last 30 minutes or so, and he said that the skies are clear. So again, keeping our fingers crossed. But looking at the path of totality for that eclipse, you can see what cities are going to be seeing that right about 9:18. Again, Eugene, which is where we have our alma mater, along the coast of Florence, Coos Bay, Bandon. And as we're looking a little bit closer to 9:21, it will be passing along the Oregon and Nevada border there. Okay, so again, like you heard Alma say, the eclipse begins at 8:06, peaks at 9:19, and officially ends at 10:39. As you can see here, we're seeing a lot of that cloud coverage, but once again, we're keeping our fingers crossed because things can most definitely change. But we'll talk more about that 7-day forecast coming up, China.
The Israeli military is continuing to warn people in northern Gaza to evacuate and head south. It's a move that is widely seen as an opening step against a massive ground operation against Hamas. Northern Gaza is home to 1 million people, and the United Nations have warned that forcing them out of their homes would be a humanitarian disaster. On Friday, 70 people, mostly women and children, were killed after Israeli airstrikes hit convoys of Palestinian evacuees heading south. Hundreds more were hurt.
Every time I close my eye, I either hear a bomb or see a light or hear a noise or hear a scream or hear a neighbor evacuating. So I'm like, should I evacuate now or should I just wait for my death in my own house?
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced on Friday that this is only the beginning. The Israeli military is saying some forces have already entered Gaza to gather intelligence to recover hostages. Meanwhile, in Portland, dozens of people gathered downtown for a pro-Palestine rally Friday. They waved flags. They called for awareness about the long-standing Middle East. Many want to put this week's events into the context of the Palestinians' decades-long struggle for their own state.